The juice is loose.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
Welcome to Hollywood Impact. My name is Eric, and with me today is Sam and Nehemiah. What's going on, guys?
Back again.
Back again.
I haven't shaved since the last time I came on this pod.
We can tell.
Yeah.
You need to get it together, Sam.
Grizzled young vet. Double pod, double the fun.
Today we are going to be discussing the new Beetlejuice movie that just came out.
Careful.
That's twice. I consider I got one more to go, right?
Yeah, one more.
Before we get into it, guys, I'm considerably older than you both, right?
Sure.
So I'd like to know, when did you first watch the original, and how old were you?
Go ahead.
Mine was around 2010. I was 10 years old, so I was didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I enjoyed it, and I just got back. I watched it just a couple of days before the movie came out. The new one came out, and doing that really at least set in stone all the scenes and all the characters that did come back from the original, all the different reminders of why Beetlejuice is insane and crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Sammy?
I'd say a few years before that, probably early aughts, 2000s. It always sounds weird saying aughts.
Yeah.
I'm not used to calling it that. But I was probably around 10, 12. My aunt showed it to me. She was the one that showed me Fifth Element, Star Wars, all that sci-fi weird horror stuff.
Well, I was roughly the same age then when I first watched the original. It came out in 1988. I probably watched it in 90. I'm 10, 11 years old.
It is a PG movie.
It is a PG movie. And what was funny, though, is I did rewatch it again a few days ago. And I'm like, I hate using the word problematic. So I'm not using that problematic. But Beetlejuice has got some... He's kind of
questionable,
a little bit pervy. There is what he is.
A little bit.
I know the first thing when he meets Gina Davis's character, he just plants one on her,
and does it again, tries to do it again.
Tries to do it several times.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm like, oh, okay. But at the time, I never thought anything about it. But it's just something that I noticed, rewatching it again.
Yeah, he's a big perv.
It was
a big perv.
All right, so I'm going to do a brief overview here, and then we'll just get into the new one, all right?
Sure.
So plot overview for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice 2 picks up decades after the events of the original film. Lydia Dietz, now an adult, returns to her childhood home in Winter River to deal with a family tragedy. Beetlejuice, the mischievous ghost, is still haunting the house and becomes involved in Lydia's life once again. When Lydia's teenage daughter, Astrid, accidentally opens up a portal to the afterlife, the chaotic antics of Beetlejuice and the Dietz family ensue. Now, we've kind of had a trend the last few years of having a movie that was in the 80s, and then 30 plus years later we get a sequel.
Right.
So like Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun came out in 86. Maverick was 2022, so like 36 years. We just had Beverly Hills Cop 4 release on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's 40 years since that original.
That's true.
And now and for me, both of those, Top Gun and Beverly Hills Cop, those sequels, I thought worked.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job. Guys, did Beetlejuice 2 do the same thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for me, not to get too far into it, because I'm sure we'll discuss like the actual plot and so on and so forth, but I thought it stuck true to what Beetlejuice was. Not that I'm the biggest Beetlejuice fan in the world and needed it to stay true and all that, but it had a lot of the same score, music. It had a lot of the same kind of camera work. It had a lot of the same visual effects, even back from the 80s. It kept it simple. It kept it true to what it was, and it didn't feel fan servicey or over CGI'd.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't see a lot of sequels coming from movies now that actually live up to what the first movie would be. There are countless. I mean, you look at Incredibles 2, we waited 14 years for that sequel to come out. Personally, I thought they did a great job. And just like with Maverick, or with Top Gun Maverick and everything, it seems like the longer they take for another movie to come out that was already a super popular movie, it seems that the sequel always works out in the end.
Yeah.
It's Bad Boys.
Yeah, except for Bad Boys.
Yeah, it's not Bad Boys. That was a shame.
But no, there's kind of a sweet spot there between balancing nostalgia and then having like just the right amount of the old characters come back with the introduction of some new ones. And like those movies I mentioned earlier, I think they did a good job with that. And I think Beetlejuice 2 continues that trend. I mean, it was...
we didn't have the unnecessary Gina Davis cameo just for the sake of having
Or
Gina,
Alec Baldwin.
Or Alec Baldwin.
That would have been weird.
That would have been real weird. But no, we didn't have like everybody just for the sake of, hey, here's this person.
Sure.
Even Jeffrey, I believe Jones is his name, the guy that plays the grandpa that died
Yes.
in the second one.
Yeah.
Charles.
Is his last name Jones? I forget.
I don't
I think
remember.
it's sorry. He's in it, but he's not
Because of things.
because of things. You got Google. Go ahead.
So besides Beetlejuice, besides Michael Keaton, we'll talk about him later. Who are you guys' favorite characters in this film?
Oh, that's other than, well, if we're not talking actual like actors, I appreciated Bob. I know that's that'll probably be a common
I did not
answer
see
with
that.
everybody.
I didn't see that.
But I thought it was just funny because in the last movie, in the first movie, Beetlejuice is sitting down with his insanely long number waiting to be seen. He sits next to Bob. And then the next thing you know, there's a whole bunch of
Brad.
or there's a whole call center for Beetlejuice's businesses, and it's like Bob, Earl, Tom, just all the ones that have their heads shrunken working in his industry. And I thought that was, and of course poor Bob was thrown into the loop of everything being the it was a shame.
Bob.
Yeah, but it's a shame. That was probably the worst part of the movie for me. I was like, really? They just had to do it?
I was trying to watch and see their name tags to see if they all had B names.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob, and I saw Brad, and I spent way too much of the movie looking
for
at
that.
name tags. Like, for me, I would say I almost called her Wednesday. Astrid,
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega's character. I mean, she fits right in. She is probably the perfect person to fill his character as Winona Ryder's daughter. I mean, she did. I think it was very well done. You could see the kind of, she's like her mom, but she's not. And, you know, I thought she did a really good job.
Well, didn't Tim Burton also direct Wednesday?
I think so.
I think so. So they had
has
kind
a
of
lot
that,
of Adams
kind of that
cameos.
relationship there.
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job. Mine, I really liked William Dafoe. I think his name was Wolf Jackson.
Yeah, was it?
He was like the
Yeah.
Afterlife Crimes Unit.
Yeah, he was an actor.
Where
He was an
was-
actor that played a cop, but now he thinks he's still a cop.
He's still a cop.
But he's constantly getting coffee handed
What's
to
with
him.
that? Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I really
I
enjoyed
think
that.
for that because he died on doing a stunt.
Yeah.
And so he's reliving the moments of still being that cop in the show. So
Yeah.
like every time he thinks he's too much of a cop, the assistant, she's like, but you're an actor.
Yeah.
And hands him a cup of coffee, he just crushes, he's like,
When
you
she-
keep
she
me
had the
humble.
cue
And
card
throws it
and all
away.
that.
Yeah, the cue cards, that was great.
good.
So on the flip side of our favorite character, what either didn't work or maybe a character that you guys just did not care for in this film?
I might. Sorry, I don't I appreciated having Willem Dafoe. Willem, by the way, not William. Thought it was.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was. I thought it was William until I looked it up like yesterday.
Okay.
So-
My apologies, Mr. Defoe.
No, it's all good. I think he'll understand.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was funny, and I appreciate it. It was very entertaining. But I also was kind of like, why? What are they doing here? Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. He's kind of investigating the murders and stuff, but it just kind of felt like side stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're getting back to the actual movie. But again, I thought it was funny. It wasn't like, oh, this is just this is like derailing the movie.
Yeah.
It just felt very side questy.
What about you, Nehemiah? Anything didn't hit for you?
Oh, I mean, this one's gonna, I don't know if it'll cause any trouble, but whenever it was the father in the movie, like whenever she goes and sees her father, that was great and all, but just kind of like with with the couple, I forget the couple's last name that was in the first movie that died in the house.
Yeah.
Because
The Maitlands.
Yes.
Yeah, the Maitlands, because it was said that in the Beetlejuice, they found a loophole to send them off to the afterlife and not keep them here on Earth. I was kind of hoping that was the same thing for the dad,
Yeah.
but that one just kind of, I wasn't ready for it, and just having that whole think that was the whole reason why they grew closer as a mom and daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it was a throw, but it was a way that they took, and it probably worked for other people, but for me, it just didn't hit home.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I'm not sure why, but it just didn't seem right for the movie.
For me, I was hoping for a little bit more explanation with some things. Like
the ex-wife?
Yeah, the ex-wife, the Maitlands. Yeah, actually, because like Dolores, I think was her name, played by Monica Bellucci, which I know, you know, if you're ranking hottest female actresses that have a stapled face,
sure,
she's the one.
Top 5 at least.
At least top 5. But I think just the underutilization of her. I thought there was some things that could have been better because I was really looking forward to seeing what that was and maybe getting some of Beetlejuice's actual like backstory, which I guess we did get it.
I thought I was missing something. I had to go back and like deeply scrub the first movie and be like, did I just miss the ex-wife thing, or did he ever mention it?
No, I don't think it's mentioned at all.
The only reason the ex-wife would be mentioned in the first one is whenever he's getting the ring. And he pulls out that finger, and he's like, "She didn't mean nothing to me." Throws it away.
Yeah,
but then the second, and Beetlejuice, you see that ring finger crawl back out. I was saying in theaters, I'm like, ex-wife. Yeah, that was the first one.
Okay.
The only thing I can say is in the first one too is that he said he was alive in the Black Plague.
True. Okay.
And so then whenever it came to Gravedigger, I was like, okay, I see. But it was still it was way too short.
Yeah.
It was. There really could have been a lot more explanation to it.
I guess I'm just used to, like, especially with sequels, like looking for more of an origin story with some things. But then what I had to do is just take a step back and like, this is a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Tim Burton's a weird dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at some of his catalog, he's got, you know, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but that movie is weird.
It's weird.
I mean, he did the two Batman movies. Yeah. And for Batman, those are kind of weird. I think they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then movies like Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas, I think Coraline, dude's into weird stuff. So then I had to just let myself, well, maybe he's not into the whole origin kind of backstory type thing. It's like this, you know,
this
have a good time watching a weird movie.
This isn't Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. Yeah.
With the 5 hours, 5 hour director's cut.
Yeah.
So where do you think we go from here? Are they going to do a Beetlejuice? Or
you kind of have to.
I mean, at the very end, she's seeing him again in some way, shape, or form.
They do tease it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I'm hoping that they don't do it soon and they kind of wait it out again and not just automatically throw it in theaters in the next 2 years. Like, give it at least 5 or so.
Well, I get you, but here's the problem. Like, I want to talk about Michael Keaton for a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
Michael Keaton is 73 years old.
That's true.
Yeah.
But this guy, I think, is one of the most underappreciated actors.
I was thinking this last night, and I thought I was going to be the guy to bring up this point, and everybody's going to be like, what? But no, he's the most underrated actor in my mind.
He really is. Like, I don't know why this came up, but it's like, if you take Michael Keaton and, like, Nick Cage, and you put, like, let's go Nick Cage action movies. So I'm talking The Rock. I'm talking Con Air.
I thought Con Air first.
Put Michael Keaton in that role, and I think that might be a better movie.
Could you imagine Con Air with Michael Keaton?
Dude, it would be so good.
The accent would be way better.
It would be way better. And I'm not meaning that to be anything negative or disrespectful towards Nick Cage. Buddy, I think you're great. But it's a testament to how good Michael Keaton is.
Yeah.
Here's another one for you. Let's take Bruce Willis.
Oh,
let's go Die Hard, and let's put Michael Keaton in the Die Hard role.
Oh, boy.
I think he can pull it off.
Oh, boy.
Is it better? It's not worse.
Yeah. No, for sure. Absolutely. I was thinking of this, and I think I got an original thought here. He's the American Gary Oldman to me.
Okay.
He's in so many movies.
Yeah.
Like, you look at his IMDb, you're like, he was in that. He has roles where you can't even recognize him. I think of Gary Oldman as Sirius Black in Harry Potter. It took me years to be like, oh, that was Gary Oldman.
And then he was in True Romance way before that with a totally different role.
Yeah, he just has so many roles that like Beetlejuice. I forgot it was Michael Keaton until they started making this one. I was like, oh, he was Beetlejuice to start it all.
Yeah.
Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be this continent's Gary Oldman.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, he's the only thing good about the Flash movie, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he's 73. You got Winona Ryder. She's still got it going on. She's 52 now.
Yeah.
Monica Bellucci, 59. I didn't want to look up Jenna Ortega's age because I didn't want
That'd be
that.
weird.
I didn't want that in my browser history
Right.
that I
You
looked
don't need
at.
the,
But she's in her 20s, I'm assuming.
Fingers
But
crossed.
but if they're
I
going,
couldn't tell ya.
yeah, fingers crossed. If they are going to do a sequel, they can't wait too long.
No.
But if they don't, I'm take it or leave it. If they left it like this, I'm okay.
Yeah. Right.
If they did do another one, I'll probably check it out.
I think
but-
the ending does that. It's like,
It leaves you questioning.
yeah, it's like if they go and make a third one, I understand why. If they don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it set something up to where like, oh, I gotta watch a third one now.
Sure.
By the way, didn't mention her, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
amazing. She's
She's still-
hilarious.
yeah, she's
I love
good.
it. She's still Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
She's like 70, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably not going to put her in. Maybe you could put her in the trilogy, I guess. She's
Good.
in the Great Beyond or whatever it
Yeah.
was. She got on the Soul Train.
Oh, yeah.
Soul
We got to talk
Train.
about Soul Train.
That was.
I did think the music. I thought the score. Danny
that
Elfman
was-
came back. Did
that was
the
one of the best
score.
parts to
I thought
me.
the
Oh,
music
yeah.
was good. They did kind of a homage to the first one. When they were doing the Deo song, they kind of had a similar scene
Yeah.
in this one. Without spoiling it too much.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot.
We didn't talk about the Soul Train.
All right, got to talk about Soul Train.
I can't.
Get it off your chest.
When they said the Soul Train, everybody's mind went to exactly what it was on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, there's no way they have a bunch of Earth, Wind, and Fire type music playing there,
Well, they
and
absolutely
everybody
did.
dancing and grooving and all that. And then they
That was
showed
it.
the Soul Train. I was like, oh my god, it's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's so much of the movie, and that's why I appreciated it so much. It was like, oh, surely they don't go here with this, and then they do, and you're like, dude, you made a lot of the decisions not correct, but were decisions where I was like,
Yeah.
I would take that there if I were them.
Yeah. Tim Burton does a great job of doing stuff like that
He
and just
does.
making it.
Yeah.
Just
He does.
making it work.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of Tim Burton's movies, which are claymation, those
Uh-huh.
are very popular. And I'm a fan of claymation movies. So just the time it to put into making that, and how small the cast is, or even the producing cast, there's not a whole lot of people
Yeah.
taking part of it because you don't need that many people, but yet hours upon hours. And I appreciated that with Beetlejuice, is how they didn't take that away from certain characters, like the sandworm, was it?
Uh-huh.
They still kept it like the claymation
Yeah.
look, and I appreciate that. I think most out of the entire movie, and just the cinematography, everything was still. And what they weren't trying to recreate everything with CGI. They kept true to the old stuff or in the original movie, and I love it when they do that.
Yeah, no, that's
it
a
makes
good
it so
point.
much better.
Yeah, I think it would have been very easy just to CGI it and make it look way, way cooler. But they were
Yeah.
true to the original,
Yeah.
kind of had that old school special effects, but, looked a little bit better,
Yeah,
but still.
exactly. It
It
Yeah,
felt
it was
like a
well done.
Beetlejuice movie. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you CGI it, it turns into Dune.
Yeah, it's not,
Like,
exactly.
But again, just to go back to the original thought, they got straight to the point. It wasn't a ton of exposition, but you knew what was going on. And I think the origin story, yes, probably could have used more, but I mean, the first Beetlejuice movie didn't really have much of it anyway.
It didn't
Nope.
make any sense at all.
It-
The first Beetlejuice didn't make any sense.
Here's a couple, they crash into a river and they die, and
Yeah.
now they're dead, and here we go.
Yeah.
It got right into it.
Yeah.
So,
Guys, final thoughts? Anything before we give it a rating?
no, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
All right. Who wants to go first? Nehemiah, go ahead.
I would honestly give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, which probably affects my score even more, just because I'm so iffy with sequels. But I did not get bored throughout that entire movie. They kept true to things, and while there's some things that were lacking, that's with every movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I would still
absolutely.
stick with the 9 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
I'm going to be a little harsher, but not meaner. I just mean if I give a 9, to me it's got to be whoa.
Okay.
And I was very entertained. I thought it I kept my attention the whole time. I wasn't bored throughout it. I'm going to give it 7.9. But, to me
That's a fair
that's
score.
a very good movie.
Yeah.
There are plenty of movies that get 4s, but I can't quite give it a 9 just because it wasn't it didn't change any. I was just Yeah, I was very entertained. I laughed. I thought it was very good. Stuck true. Nothing stood out like as glaringly bad. So 7.9.
Yeah. I'm going 8. Make it simple.
Sure.
It's an 8. It's a good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. If they do make a sequel, I'm in. If not, I'm cool too.
Right.
Yeah.
But Michael Keaton, this cast was outstanding. It's a good, solid movie, guys. If you like Beetlejuice, go watch this movie.
Better or worse than the first one?
That's a tough question.
I think it was better. I liked it better.
Do you think so?
I think it's a better movie.
I think the first one took a lot more chances and was weirder, so I can appreciate that a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought this one kind of was a little tighter.
I know for me personally, in the first one, it took too long to really introduce Beetlejuice into the movie Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It was a lot of the time just a family trying to scare the other family out of the house or something.
Yeah.
And then last minute, Beetlejuice. And this one, it actually kicked off with everybody.
Yeah.
Even whenever he wasn't there, he was there, ready to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For me, the first one, again, just didn't really make a whole lot of sense at all. But
Hey.
again, at the time, I really liked it. 1988, 89, I'm really into it. But no, I think the second one's better than the first one.
I mean, it caught on, and the movie theaters were all. I mean, trying to find a ticket for this opening weekend was tough, tougher than I expected.
Yeah, and I think the ratings so far have been pretty good for it, making some money. So,
We could probably see a third one on the way.
guys, good job with this. Good job making Beetlejuice 2,
Well done.
everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, listen, if you like what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And until next time, we'll see you later.